Okay, hello. We are back. I love saying we're back because that means that I actually did something before this. We are back with episode number 21 of the Adventures in Adversity podcast. I am your host, Bree Wilson. For those of you who don't know me, um, basically, this podcast is about talking about adversity and real stories about adversity and how to get through adversity in life. Which brings me to my seventh guest. I am so honored to have you, Parker. You are my previous guest, Mariah's other half. I don't want to say better half because, you guys are both awesome. So you're one of the two awesome halves.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
Yes. So Parker, well, I'll tell the whole story of how this happened. But Parker, I would like to first of all thank you for joining. Thank you for just being a part of my podcasting journey, and then thank you in advance for sharing any Stoic wisdom that you have, because that is what this episode is all about. Is about Stoicism and how Stoicism has helped you in your life get through adversity, whether that be work, personal, whatever. And I'm just going to tee this up and then I'm going to let you talk. But I would like for you to just kind of introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do? Where do you live? And all that fun stuff.
Sounds good. Yeah. Well, thanks for having me on. This is
Yeah,
this is cool. I'm excited.
it's kind of fun, right?
It's very fun. Yeah, I'm excited to be
Kind of
here.
weird too. You're like,
Yeah.
what's happening?
Yeah. Yeah. No, we're gonna learn some stuff today. I'm excited.
Exactly.
But yeah, so I'm Parker, and I live and work in Washington State. I'm originally from Oklahoma. You know some of this stuff already because you've talked to my wife. You've had her
Yeah.
on already,
Yep.
so
Yep.
we
But
can
but
we
very
can.
little. Like I know the
Okay.
basics. So
Yeah, I gotcha.
yeah.
Okay. Well, cool. So yeah, for my profession, I am an emergency management specialist
Okay.
for the federal government. And then yeah, before that, I spent time as a paramedic and EMT and firefighter. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So that, first of all, I always say with people sort of on the front lines like that, thank you for your service and for like all of that, because it's something that, I think takes a very strong person, and it's a very admirable profession. So we could just stop here. You're amazing. No, I'm kidding.
Thank you. Thank you.
Um, yeah. So you are currently an emergency management specialist and in Washington.
Yeah, that's correct. Yep.
Okay. And then I'm gonna go all over the place and just like dig in there. And then you can just tell me to slow down and I'll probably just go fast anyway.
Sounds good.
Um so what does that entail day to day, your job?
Yeah. So my job specifically deals with wildfires and wildfire grants.
Mhm.
Um, Emergency management is a very broad field. So, just to kind of give you a very basic um, understanding of what that is,
Yeah.
it is the coordination of resources before, during, and after disasters.
Okay.
So, what does
Mhm.
that mean? It could be anything. It could be a lot of stuff. Just whatever the situation requires. And then a lot of times with the federal government, that usually means money. So,
Yes.
so I
Money,
work with
supplies, right? And the resources.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, and so I work with wildfire grants. So, big wildfire pops up somewhere here in the Pacific Northwest where I am,
Mhm.
or in Alaska, and it's threatening a population of people. We go through this process to free up some funds, basically, to
Mhm.
help fight that wildfire.
Wow. So that and being in California, I know all about, I'm in
Yeah.
the Bay Area, I know all about the wildfires and like growing up. So like that is it's if you grow up with it and you live with it, it's such a devastating thing. And like you to be on the receiving end and you think, "Oh my gosh, there's so much coordination to get this under control." And then you're also in the midst of it. So when you said before, during, after, obviously you know
Yeah.
when it's happening and you know after. How much lead time can you get for some of this stuff or none?
Yeah, it really just depends on the situation. So
Yeah.
I just have a really small part of the disaster cycle. So I work in it's classified in recovery, so
Okay.
post disaster. But we kind of have our hand in every single part of the whole process.
Sure.
So with wildfires in particular, um, it is kind of a dangerous thing, of course, along with everything else, but it's very dangerous because you don't really know when something like that can pop up. I mean, you can track the weather, you can have an
Sure.
idea of when it could happen, but could be any time of day or night during fire season, and that's part of the reason it's so dangerous. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so, and like, what do you do? And this is going to kind of lead into all kinds of questions and stoicism, and then I'm going to jump around to your EMT firefighter times, and it's
Sure.
just all going to be magic. Um, so give me when I posted something about stoicism, Mariah said, "Hey, actually my hubby loves the book, which I'm going to oh right here, The Daily Stoic,
Yeah,
right?"
yeah.
And hopefully this isn't too choppy, but you just mentioned your job being in emergency situations, handling adversity, life and death, people's homes, people's lives. And then my connection now is you're into stoicism. And I can now I'm like starting to I'm on day 6 of reading about this and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is why they're such badasses because they like this is it, right?" So talk to me. Why
Yeah.
stoicism and how does stoicism help you in your job? And then I'm just gonna like dig into I'm kind of just all over the place, but
Yeah, no,
just
yeah.
start there,
That
see where it
that
goes.
that's a great question. So, how does it help me in my job? I think the thing that I most gravitate towards in Stoicism is um, the idea that you do not have to be at the mercy of your emotions. So that's
Hmm.
kind of easier said than done. So it takes a lot of practice, and I by no means am perfect at it. But going into crazy, scary situations with the understanding that I can't control what's going on outside of me, but I can control how I react to it, just helps me keep a more level head in some adverse situations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that you said is the foundation of like what attracts you to it. And for people who might not know anything about Stoicism, what would you say? So it's an ancient Greek and Roman philosophy.
Yeah.
It's sort of a what is it? A way of life, would you say? It's a philosophy school?
Yeah, yeah,
Thought?
absolutely.
Yeah. What is it?
It's a school of thought. So it's one of many different types of schools of philosophy. So of
Yeah.
course there's like things like nihilism and cynicism, which I know less about than
Sure, sure.
stoicism, but but
Yeah.
yeah, it's really just kind of a way to think and a way to perceive the world. Yeah,
Very cool. So what I love about it is that what I'm reading right now in the Stoic stuff, and I know there's like a lot of Ryan Holiday books, and I'm
yeah.
literally day 6. I can't get enough. Like you're gonna be my guru. I'm your apprentice. Um, so what in I can see why being a master of your emotions, right? In a job like yours, emergency situations. Can you take me back to when you discovered stoicism and then the first time you felt like you were applying it to your life, maybe like as an EMT or a firefighter? When did you learn about it? How did you learn about it? And when did you go, I'm using stoicism? If that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So I think when I first discovered it, it was probably close to 6 years ago now.
Okay.
At the time I was a paramedic and firefighter, and I think I stumbled across it. I've always been kind of a heavy reader,
Yeah.
and interested in all kinds of different subjects, and I may have heard about it from some podcasts or things,
Sure.
and just kind of stumbled across it,
Mhm.
and it struck my interest because I think that I had heard maybe over a period of time about what this is and the ideas that it contains, and they really struck home with me because I think at the time my emotional resilience was, pretty worn down,
Hmm.
working as a first responder, physically drained, mentally drained, and maybe subconsciously I was really looking for a toolbox to help
Mhm.
me through some of those situations. And so I did what I normally do when I'm interested in something. I picked up a book and
Mhm.
started reading and figured out that this is for me. I think this is a awesome set of ideas that can really help me through life and in my career.
That's I actually like get chills a little bit because that's exactly how I feel like I'm in that week right now. That where I I mean, there's something about Stoicism in the first quote I read. Like when my mom got me the book like 6 days ago, and I was like, "Wait, this makes sense," but
Yeah,
I don't know if I've ever heard it that way. And
right.
it I don't when I was reading the quotes, like you said, you were looking for some like emotional resilience. It when you read it, it doesn't make you feel like oh you suck for like not having realized this already. Like it's not shaming. It's just like hey, this is where you're at and this is what you need to do. Like it's very I don't know, it just feels non-judgmental but like firm. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I agree. Yeah, I think it's interesting. So the ideas
Yeah.
presented in this school of thought are maybe seemingly obvious to an extent,
Sure.
but they're like that for a reason, and it's probably because this school of philosophy has touched a lot of things, and we didn't even realize it. A lot of the ideas contained in it. And so
Hmm.
we've heard these things before, but sometimes you have to really stop and think about it and internalize it before you can apply
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. Well, no, it's interesting too because um you were saying when you were a paramedic, right? When you were starting to read about it and you're like, okay, yeah, this is for me, this is helping me become more resilient. Do you recall any specific moments or just like taking yourself back to that time? Like what are some phrases from it either like there's Marcus Aurelius again I'm learning and I'm trying to learn the pronunciation Seneca, right?
Yeah.
And then is it Epictetus?
I think it's Epictetus.
Epictetus.
Yeah.
See, I'm always
Yeah.
get it wrong, but I'm learning like the character, the Stoics, the great Stoics, right?
Right.
Um, was there any times when you were in that early Stoic journey, like me, where maybe you were dealing with something as a paramedic, and then you were like, "Wait, I have a tool, I'm gonna use it," and oh, do you remember when it started to work for you? If like there's an EMT listening right now, and they're like, "This is heavy," you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think there was necessarily an aha moment. I think it
Yeah,
took me a little while
yeah,
to, like I said, like kind of let that stuff digest.
yeah,
But I will say, I mean, I usually try to keep some of those phrases and quotes in my back pocket for, when those difficult moments come up.
sure,
And I think one that might have helped me through those difficult times was I was dealing with maybe some anger and sadness and kind of didn't know where to place it.
sure,
And so one of the things I think it was in Meditations, which is where I started with everything by
yeah,
Marcus Aurelius, his
uh-huh,
journal.
mm-hmm.
It was that you don't have to turn this into something. So
Mm,
you don't have to have a knee jerk reaction and have it affect a relationship or have it affect your career. You can stop, maybe delay that anger if you're experiencing anger and kind of push it, just put it to the side for a minute. Don't necessarily, don't not deal with it. Don't push
sure,
it down, but you can set it to the
sure,
side and it might help the situation. And that's
yeah.
something I still carry with me.
Yeah, so it's like that it almost feels like maybe sometimes when anger comes for me, it feels like it overtakes you. But it sounds like Stoics and in that meditation that Marcus Aurelius was saying, you actually have like agency, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it does feel like a powerful wave. And it's quite powerful when it comes, like the grief or the sadness, I'm sure. And then as an EMT, that's some real, I mean, it gives me chills because that's like real stuff you lived through, that you were there. And like, you know, I feel that seeing the news, not let alone living through it. So that you were like, this is so much. I have to. It's almost like Marcus Aurelius is saying, it's okay for you to have this because that's natural, but like you don't have to make it worse. Don't they say that? You don't have to make the problem worse,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
I mean,
Or let it.
you're not looking to be emotionless. That's not the
Right.
idea of it.
It's
You're still
not
a human.
right.
Um, you're looking to to get a hold of it, I guess, maybe. And not necessarily wrestle it because you're not gonna beat those things.
Mm,
But you do control your reaction to external forces. I
sure.
mean, there's so many things in life that we can't control, um, and that's okay. That's normal. That's what the Stoics tell us.
Yeah.
That that we were never in control, and that's totally normal. That's natural.
Yep. Yep. And it's almost like I think a misconception because I've been reading like, just reading this and then, the Ryan Holiday Daily Stoics and then just reading articles on Stoicism and then like, Googling and seeing what comes up, like diving in and it says common misconceptions are that Stoics have no emotion. And it's like, or it's like, no, you're like so aware of your emotion. You want to become, what is it like the great empire, the master empire is right here, right?
Yeah.
The the
Yeah.
the emperor of this crazy empire
Yeah. Exactly.
inside.
Right. Right.
Oh my, I'm obsessed, by the way. Like you should see me. I'm like, it's like 2 in the morning and I'm like, oh my God. Wow. This is
Yeah.
so obvious but amazing. And like it's so beautifully written. I,
Yeah.
I can't get over it because I'm like, I'm like, does everyone know about this? Like, right?
Right. They should. They should.
I'm like, can this be in every class? Like stoicism for elementary school kids, please? Like, oh,
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think there should definitely be some more emotional education out there for folks to.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, continue. What were you going to say?
No, I just
Yes.
liked your point a lot about agency, about you being the one that controls your own actions.
Mm,
And yeah, we can't control other people. Other people are variables. We can't control so many things, but how
yeah,
we actually react. Yep.
totally. So, as an EMT, firefighter, human being, first responder, like, are there things, and there's like so much we could talk about stoicism, what would you say? Well, the principles of it are obviously like control what you can. And actually, there's another quote, I think Ryan Holiday on a YouTube video, because I'm like, stalking him now.
Yeah.
Hey, Ryan Holiday, if you ever see this, stalking you in a cool way. Intellectually stalking him, I should say.
Sure, sure.
Um, God,
Good save, good save.
like, I'm like, oh. Anyways, he has a tattoo, and I'm probably gonna copy him with it that says "The obstacle is the way."
Hmm.
So it's almost like as a firefighter, EMT, emergency response specialist, you live that. You can't run away from the obstacle. You can't run away from the emergency situation, as scary and horrible as it is. You have to go right in,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, very true. Yeah. Yeah, and I like that you bring that up. I identify with that a lot too. Yeah, the obstacle is the way. That's actually one of his books too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it to everybody who's listening. Yeah, read that.
Oh, I've literally read just like random pages when I'm, doing my stalking, but I can't even imagine how I'm gonna feel when I haven't even read Meditations. I'm like, I'm probably gonna cry and like sit in the corner and just like have a whole mind-blowing life experience.
It's so quotable and so easily digestible. I mean, philosophy, people hear it's philosophy and they think it's
Oh,
going to be this the most complicated, scary,
yes.
highbrow, but it's very, very easy to read and very easy to understand and hard to apply. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's like, so when you're going into these situations, and we have like, believe it or not, I said this on the podcast with your lovely wife, Mariah. I think it was episode 13. Episode 13, I think. Um, I told her, I was like, oh my gosh, we have worldwide audience. And I was like making a joke and doing imposter syndrome, like deflected, I was like, oh, huh. And there actually is people all over that are listening. And I can imagine one or two of those has to be in the medical profession of some kind, or helping or servicing or something. And if they took one thing away from this episode, you talked about, like, as a first responder and sort of somebody in a high stress profession, that it's like all about what you can control and can't. In the moment when you're facing a wildfire recovery, or you are facing a horrible accident, or just fires, what do you actually say to yourself to remind yourself of, like, that stoic principle? Like, do you breathe? What do you do in the moment?
Yeah, normally, I would say from being a first responder, that is a
Yeah.
very acute type of stress. That
Yeah.
in the moment, I can only speak for myself, but I would
Sure.
say that I wasn't thinking, I wasn't emotionally reacting probably so much in those extreme moments. That stuff would come later on probably. So in those moments though, yeah, I would do some breathing usually.
Breathing.
Have you ever heard of box breathing?
I
Okay.
have. I have
Okay.
my brother, the
Yeah.
one, it's like
Yeah.
that. Well, can you explain it? What box breathing
Sure.
is?
Yeah. So, the idea is, so you'll breathe in for 4 or 5 seconds,
Mm-hmm.
hold it for 4 or 5 seconds, and then breathe out for 4 or 5 seconds, and rinse and repeat over and over again until you
Yeah.
start to feel a little better. That heart rate comes down, and maybe your jaw unclenches, and yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's that whole concept of what they tell you, the oxygen mask. You have to put yours on first, right? Before you can help somebody
yeah,
else. I
yeah.
can imagine, and I'm only in the last year learning about, like, nervous system regulation. I did not understand the physical importance of it. You know, I didn't
Right.
understand h- how to know when you're dysregulated, and that you can, through work, regulate yourself, right?
Yeah,
Like, in the
yeah.
moment, it's very difficult, right? But
It's
you
extremely,
can,
yeah.
but it sounds like you could be in the zone because the adrenaline, everything is like, I need to help this person, and then you have to process after,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. And so, yeah, that
Yeah.
this has kind of helped give me a set of tools to deal with that. And to go back to your point about the
Sure.
obstacle being the way,
Yeah.
I like that idea a lot, I think, because no matter who we are, we're going to encounter some sort of difficulty in life. And I think the quote is something along the line, the direct quote, I think, from maybe Meditations
Yeah.
is, and I'm paraphrasing, but I
Please,
think
you're exactly right.
um, the impediment to action becomes the action, I think,
Mm,
I think essentially the idea. So,
yeah.
if you're encountering these difficulties, it probably means you're actually headed in the right direction. And I like that.
But that is such a game-changing thought,
Yeah,
that it's almost like you could apply it to anything, right? Like, literally, let's say you're at a new job, your first problem, that means, like, you're in the role, right? Like, you're not going to go, or anything, whether you're, let's say, mental health, you're encountering an issue in therapy. It's not like, oh shit, it's like, no, this is supposed to happen,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Or, like, I don't know if this makes sense, but as a first responder, you are looking for the problem so that you can fix it. You don't want the problem to be there, but it's there.
right. Yep.
It's in, And like what an amazing feeling you must have when you save someone's life, or or you affect their day, or you help them when they're panicking, whatever. I mean, you must have seen all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, if you look at it from the perspective of, okay, maybe this didn't go the way I wanted it to, but I did everything I could and I came out of this and I learned something from it.
The
Just
learning.
having that perspective really helps kind of process some of the rougher stuff for
Tough.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure, and again, please only, I don't want to get too personal or anything, but I'm
Oh,
sure that there are situations where, you know, things are out of your hands, and you think to yourself as a first responder, what can I do to bring peace to this situation?
yeah.
In a what can I what joy can I bring in a time of like darkness,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
right? Or what relief can I bring in this horrible moment?
Yeah, and I mean, Stoicism has a lot in common with CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy.
Yes, I read
And
that.
I won't go big
Oh
into that
no, but
because
that's
we'd have to bring my wife back for that.
Mariah. We'll get my OG therapy bestie back on. She's
Right,
like,
right.
yes. Watch, she pops in. She's like, I'm sorry. Did you say something? She's like
One of
right
the,
there staring at you.
right, right. I can't see her right now. She's not here.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, well, I mean, one of the major commonalities is I think is control and acceptance. So
Mm.
understanding that we're not in control and accepting that, and then almost approaching with a certain amount of indifference that this is just how it is. It is what it is.
It
To
is what it
say
is.
to quote a more modern saying, I guess.
Yeah. But like, so if there's a pie, right? And it's a stoicism pie, and let's say it says, and I'm totally probably wrong here, but I'm 6 days in, so I'm like pretty advanced.
Right, right.
Yes, very, very advanced philosopher. Um, if the stoicism pie were to say 85% of life you can't control, let's just say, and you're like, oh, that's horrible. I feel like a stoic would be like, but that 15% you can go all in on, go. Then they're like, focus on that 15 and do everything you can, right? And like, don't be emotionless, like, go for it, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Control what you can. Yeah. So like focus on effort, not results is one of Ryan Holiday's
Oh,
ideas. Yeah, efforts, not results, and that's helped me a lot.
mm,
So yeah, I mean, if we just do the very best we can hang our hat on that at the end of the day, and that's whatever
yeah.
happens happens, but we try our best.
You know what? And I saw a clip of him, and he said, like, he was like, talking about, because he's quite established author, and apparently he has this like
Yeah,
amazing bookstore called the Painted Porch in
yeah,
Texas. And I'm
yeah.
like, oh my, you're so like cool and modern, but also bringing back the old school books. He's like my new hero.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Oh, he's just so, I feel like he's a stoic reincarnated, but like cuts through the bullshit and doesn't have ego, but he's like, listen, I'm gonna give it to you straight. Here's the deal. But he also has
Yeah,
emotion and like loves his family. Like it's very, I'm like, I get him.
yeah,
I
yeah.
resonate.
He's a
I don't know.
human. Yeah,
He's
he's
a
he's very
human.
human. Yeah,
You're right. Yeah. I guess I'm just amazed at how, I'm so glad he's like bringing this out, because I feel like it's
yeah,
honestly going to change my freaking life. Like it's like that crazy this week.
yeah. I agree. I mean, I recommend. I haven't read all of his stuff, but there
Yeah.
quite a bit of it now. So he's got the Daily Stoic,
Yep.
which is what you've got, and then he's also doing a Stoic virtues series right now,
Oh, yes.
based off of the four virtues of Stoicism, which are
Yeah. What are those?
wisdom. It's wisdom,
Okay.
courage, temperance, and justice.
Hmm.
And I think, let me think here. Courage is also known as fortitude,
Hmm.
and I think temperance sometimes I think gets interchanged with moderation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although it's a little more complicated than that. I think,
Sure.
yeah, it's more self-discipline, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing I love about Stoicism that I'm learning is that you're never done. You don't, there's no end point of like you are now just like the great Marcus Aurelius. He's like, no, I'm working on my shit too. Like I feel like that's what he'd say. Like, let's talk
Yeah.
about it. I'm working on it. You're working on it. Oh, because he didn't even intend for this to be read. It was just journal entries, the
Yeah.
meditations, right?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, meditations is really interesting. Yeah, because it's essentially his stream of consciousness based off of his Stoic teachings from that he's learned from being a student of Stoicism his entire life. Marcus Aurelius,
Yeah.
that is, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's really interesting going through that. He almost admonishes himself to an extent about thinking certain ways.
Hmm.
He says things like, "Don't uh, deliberate over what a good man is. Just
Hmm.
simply be a good man." That's one. I think one
Hmm.
of his ideas in there, which
Hmm.
it makes a lot of sense. I mean,
I
we
get it.
really most of us know what it is, what the right thing is to do, and so just do that thing.
It's that first, here's what I should do. It's that first intuition of, because like, yes, and I love that because I'm a deep thinker too, like a little too much, but sometimes you got to get out of that and start when you're like, oh, I gotta be better. I should volunteer. I should be more just like go out and go not react right now. Go let someone cut you off and not react. There you go. Perfect. Stop
Yeah.
like thinking, oh, I should be better. Just go be better. Right?
Yeah, yeah, simplify it almost. Yeah,
Keep
which
it,
is easier
just
said
do
than
it.
done.
But it's
Yeah.
like what I like about stoicism, and tell me if this is what you picked up, it's like just do it. Oh, but by the way, we know you're gonna screw up, and when you do, here's some tools to help because it's really hard. That's
Yeah,
how I feel
yeah.
like. But also don't overcomplicate it because it can be easy, but then it can be hard. I don't know, like we're capable of so much, but it's still hard.
Yeah. I got the same thing. I mean, I think it's a pretty you can take it as far as you want. I mean, it can
Sure.
certainly be um pretty disciplined
Or you're
if
like,
you decide to take that route. Yeah, for sure. But there also is room to just let you work on it yourself and be a
yes,
human being.
yes. And would you say it's not a religion. It is a philosophy. Like, is there ever debate
Yeah.
about that? Or do people ever say that?
Not that I've seen.
Yeah.
I would think maybe the only debate would be when people don't really understand the difference, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, definitely not a religion.
Yeah.
Marcus Aurelius was a Roman emperor, so they had
Yeah.
their own religion. It's
Sure.
just yeah, a way to perceive the world. There's no worship. There's no
That's
deity
what I
you're
like.
you're worshing. Yeah.
I kind of like
Um,
that. Not to get
yeah.
religious. I mean, I love Buddhism. I love all. I'm like, I'm in like a no judgment, but I do
Yeah.
like that aspect.
Sure. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, same. I think yeah, it's easier for me to wrap my head around that, I think sometimes.
Yes.
Um, yeah.
Yes. It's like no, it's like I feel a higher power and a higher energy, and sometimes like I'll hear a Bible verse and get chills, or I'll
Sure.
hear a Jewish proverb, or I'll see
Yeah.
a or something an atheist will say, and I'll be like, that really makes sense, like Ricky Gervais or something, and I get all the religions, Muslim, everything. There's been moments where I get chills and I go, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Um, there's something about Stoicism where I'm it's like the power within you, you know. But it's saying like your power is limited, but like there's still power there, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
It's
Um,
this is like I'm realizing this as I'm saying it, how freaking even cooler this is.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I think maybe people that are heavily into religion and I can
yeah,
only speak to maybe maybe Christianity. I think
Sure.
everybody can use this, but I think a lot of folks, especially in Christianity, will say, that instead of choosing your own reaction to a situation, they might give it up to God or
Sure.
something like that. Which it totally makes sense in accordance with that religion. And
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
could see how this maybe wouldn't. I don't think they're counter to each other. I think you can use
No.
both. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's almost like, and we could go so many rabbit holes.
Yeah.
We're gonna have
Yeah,
to have
definitely.
okay, so I told Mariah that she's gonna be my resident therapist. I told her, I literally was like, "So you're doing this?" And she's like, "Oh, great." And now I'm gonna tell you. No, I'm kidding. You're gonna be my resident philosopher.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have like 10 residents. I'm gonna have like a resident doctor. I'm gonna have a resident um, CEO. I'm gonna have a resident who for everything. So we'll have a whole
I'm gonna.
board. And you talk to the Stoic one day, you talk to the therapist, you talk to the CEO, you got a whole panel. Because we
Yeah, that
just
sounds
want,
awesome. Yeah.
hey, it's so, because this podcast is all about, I literally forgot we're recording because this is so natural and fun. I love it. You're like, that makes one of us. No. Uh,
No, no, no.
I'm sure Mariah warned you. No, like a year ago when I was going through some personal chaos, I started listening to podcasts. Then I started listening to Tiffany Rowe. Then I joined the group where I met Mariah. I'd be like crying in the gym listening to podcasts. Then I'd be walking, having like life epiphanies. So podcasts changed my life. And if someone's listening to this right now and they're like, I know with first responder stuff, not stuff, first responder, um, the stress of that job, which is very high, can cause a lot of like physical adversity, mental adversity, emotional. Um, and I would say particularly maybe any of the men out there, because I've talked to Mariah about how a lot of men hesitate to go to therapy.
Right. Yeah.
Stigma is getting better, but it's still not there yet. Um, would you say Stoicism, picking up, Googling, watching a YouTube video, Stoicism could help bring somebody who's maybe having a little bit of that PTSD sort of, in addition to maybe therapy, it could be a tool they could use to kind of crawl back out, you know?
Yeah, I think so. I am fortunate enough to never have experienced that sort of thing. I've experienced the acute stress and
Sure. Sure.
certainly aspects of it. But yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. Of course, in
Maybe because you're
conjunction,
stoic. That's
yeah,
why.
maybe
That's
maybe it helped. It helped.
right.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think it's for everybody. But
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Somebody that has been through some traumatic experience, doesn't matter what it is.
Be
I
anything.
think I think these teachings and this way of thinking can go a long way.
Yeah.
In conjunction to whatever else you need,
Yeah.
never avoid seeking medical help or mental health. But yeah,
Sure.
this can be a set of tools for sure that can
Yeah.
help somebody.
Yeah. No, and I'm such a huge advocate of therapy. It's so life transforming. And actually, once you kind of get yourself out of the darkness, it becomes like fun to work on yourself. Like, I know it
Yeah.
sounds crazy. You would have told me that a year ago, I'd been like, you're insane. This is not fun. I'm like, now I'm like, oh, I did all my shadow work. Mariah, like I did all the things that Mariah enables people to do as a trained therapist. Like I was lucky enough to find a space and a therapist that I was like, oh my God, like this is what's going on and it's okay. Just like stoicism. This is what might be going on and it's okay. And
Yeah.
it's almost like stoicism's like, don't trip. Stop tripping.
Yeah, exactly.
Tripping. Like,
Yeah.
read these ancient texts. It'll all
Yeah.
make sense,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
It's like
Um,
they're reaching through time and
they
even
are.
they're very applicable to life even now. Yeah.
Can I wrap up with a on the spot stoic reading and then just getting, I want to know one thing or a couple things, and this is not a quiz. have you ever, I'm just going to flip to a random thing. Have you ever heard the excerpt? If yes, great. If not, cool. And then we can just talk about it for a minute and then we'll close it out and then we'll bring you back for your resident philosopher story hour.
Sounds great.
Sounds good. You know
Yeah.
what we'll do? The next one will be me in the middle, and then it'll be you and then Mariah. So I'll have a therapist, emergency response, and we'll just get through adversity together because
That sounds
you
great.
guys are the best. I told Mariah, I'm like, couple goals. We got a therapist who helps people, emergency response specialist, saving people. I'm just saying. I'll buy you guys dinner. I'm just saying.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that.
You
Yeah.
guys are amazing humans. That's all.
Thank you.
That's all I have to say. Okay, so I'm gonna open to give me a page number between 1 and 390, 390, 373. 1 to 373.
Let's go page 2.
Ooh, good one. Okay, page 2. So this is part of the foreword here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, but that's your reminder to read the foreword.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then pick a page number above 77.
Okay.
And then we'll get an excerpt for the Daily Stoic.
Uh 94.
94. I feel like 94 is what someone who's listening to this episode might have needed to hear today. Okay. I'm going to read it and then we're just going to chat. This is from Epictetus.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
From the discourses. So there's all these kinds of texts, right? There's meditations, discourses, all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I'm not as familiar with Seneca stuff, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So he says, eat like a human being, drink like a human being, dress up, marry, have children, get politically active, suffer abuse, bear with a headstrong brother, father, son, neighbor, or companion. Show us these things so we can see that you truly have learned from the philosophers. And it says, there is philosophy in everything. And what Ryan is saying, he goes, study, yes, but go live your life as well. So I don't know. It's almost like, what do you think about that when he says like suffer, go through all these obstacles, show us these things that we can see that you have truly have learned from the philosophers? Like what do you think he means?
Sure. I think maybe by the showing what you've learned and living in accordance with the philosophy is going out there and showing the world what it is to be a Stoic essentially, and what it
Yeah.
means to have it read and
Mhm.
internalize the knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
totally.
I like Ryan Holiday's point though, and it kind of brings us back to where we were before, where we were
Yeah.
talking about the discipline and how you can kind of take it as far as you want it to as you want to go, but you're
Yeah.
still at the end of the day a human being, so you're gonna have emotions, you're gonna have to deal with everyday issues, and that is okay. Live your
That's
life.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like, yeah, totally. And it's like, be aware of that today when you're going to work, going on a date, deciding who to vote for, calling your parents, waving to your neighbor, tipping the delivery man, saying goodnight. All of that is philosophy. All of it is experience that brings meaning to the words. I'm like, ugh, I get chills. I can't, like, if I meet him, I'll just die. I'll be like, oh,
Same, yeah.
I'll be like, I'm a stoic. I'm officially a stoic.
Right? Yeah.
I
I
just
agree.
I can't thank you enough. I was totally flying by the seat of my pants with the reading, like, oh, but you're so cool. Um,
Thanks.
I wanted to thank you for being a first responder. Thank you for taking time out of your day to talk to a rookie podcaster like me. Thank you for sharing your wife with me for an episode.
Yeah,
And
anytime,
thank you
anytime.
with Mariah, if you're a
Yeah.
resident in Washington or Idaho. She does teletherapy for recovering people pleaser perfectionists, former good girls, former basically me. So I need to go to therapy with Mariah. Um, but I just get free therapy when I message her on Instagram. But no, thank you for sharing your stoic wisdom. I I'm definitely going to bring you back. Sorry, it's happening. And no, I just really appreciate it because I feel like as I'm reading, I can think of like how you were on this journey and it helped you as a first responder, and
Yeah.
that's real life, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And
So,
thanks for having me. This was a blast. I'd be happy to come back. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of fun being on a podcast, right?
It is. It's very fun. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like kind of makes you feel like you're a big kid, as I say.
Definitely. Yeah,
Definitely,
yeah.
you're definitely a big kid. I'm a
Oh,
big kid
thank
now.
you. Thank you.
You were a big kid a long time ago. I'm now that I'm reading this, I'm becoming a big kid. Yeah.
Yes, you are a Stoic now. You're a
Thank
Stoic
you.
philosopher.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've been trying so hard. Um, cool. Well, I'm gonna end it here. And this is how we end. We just go, cool. We'll
Sounds
talk
great.
to you on the next episode.
All right, sounds good. Talk to
Thank
you
you so
later.
much, Parker.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Bye.